people are saying that, oh, well, beverages just aren't here yet. It's a market that's not here yet. I'll be honest, I actually totally disagree. It's there. It's just untapped. Like, for example, imagine you getting to Earth and be like, there's no rare metals in these grounds. There's no diamonds under this ground. It's there. Diamonds are in the ground. They just have to be found and opened up.
This is True Buzz, that Mary J. Now we ain't new to this. For my stoners and for my cannabis enthusiasts, never heard a show as good as this. Number one, it's the best. Bringing in many special guests in the industry of cannabis. Business owners to growers, even artists you know of. So sit back and just roll up. Perfect show for my smokers. True Buzz, hey.
I think it's going to be fun to see.
Do it.
It's so versatile, man.
Do it. I mean, think about it like, okay, let's be honest. Think about like a normal bar. Like not obviously a cannabis lounge, but like a normal lounge where you're buying alcohol. Tons of people are ordering shots. I mean, think about any sports or, we'll take a round or whatever.
100%.
Dude, the shot game I think is a great idea in addition to the cocktails.
Well, and with that too, that's how he gets the checks up. And that's what I think lounge spaces are going to realize more and more. And I've mentioned this on content previously when I was working with Piruana.
Yeah.
Is think about it. You get somebody there who a lot of people, Calm has been super popular at this lounge. It's 1 milligram THC, mind you, 15 CBD with a calming terpene profile. Yeah. It's like, that's been super popular, you know? So it's just interesting to see that the way that plays out in the lounge space.
And why do you think that is? Just people are just highly interested in the low dose?
There's several reasons. Okay. A lot of people are interested in cannabis. There's a cannabis lounge. They've never had it. A lot of these people come in and they're with a stoner husband, stoner wife, fiance, girlfriend, boyfriend, friend, or whatever. You know, you bring they're like, well, I don't really smoke that much or whatever. And then I'm like, I'll recommend, let's do it. You can do a calm, but I'm still very cautious if somebody's kind of hesitant. But the beauty is, what I'll say is, so this whole bottle has 1 milligram of THC. This is Create. Let's pretend this is Calm.
Yeah.
1 milligram THC. However, what I'm going to do right now is mix it in this mojito for you. So think about it this way. You have this whole drink. This whole drink has 1 milligram in it. So it has a rapid onset of 15, 30 minutes. So you just take a couple sips, drink a third of it, or drink 1/8 of it. You're getting 1/8 of a milligram. And you can wait 30 minutes, see how it feels, drink a little more. So just the barrier, to entry and just like acceptance of it. Cause it's pretty mind blowing, honestly, bro, how many people want that lower dose. And kind of back to what I was saying about with that as well is, say it's the same dose. So let's just use the same person for a second. Low dose comes in, they take a couple hits of something. They're not going to order anything else. Cannabis wise, they might order food because they're high as shit. But think about if they had one Calm cocktail or one Balance or Create cocktail. Oh, I'm feeling good. I want another. I've literally sold to the same person like 4 or 5 cocktails, and that's more value and more money for the lounge. So the idea of flipping drinks is going to become a really real thing. And that's where Koan can really excel.
Man, I have so many ideas to go along with that. I want to share one with you.
Let's go.
Seriously, because what you just said, I think is so important. I mean, you're basically saying that it's really often where someone comes in who's never used cannabis, but they are kind of curious, right? Mm-hmm. But their spouse, maybe they're hardcore stoner, maybe they're heavy dose consumer, whatever. They've been talking about it forever. Dude, there's a lot of people who will never smoke anything. That's a real thing.
That's true too.
That's a real thing.
That's some real shit,
people won't there are people who will never smoke a cigarette. They're just not going to light anything and consume it for real. So it's like, I think the beverage game, number one, is already so intriguing. Because think about it, the people that have walked in like, hey, I've never used cannabis, but my spouse does all the time. Why have they never tried cannabis?
And to throw it into that same kind of category, if you will, just is that people who've maybe tried it before, but have had that bad edible experience and haven't had it in 10 years.
Yes.
So maybe they have had it, or maybe they try a little puff every now and then. But even and just to go on this a little bit more, even some of the musicians that have been crushed. We have live music there, and also shout out Banjo Kitty. She's been crushing it there several weeks in a row. But even some people, which I get too, some of the performers, I'm going to wait till after my show. I don't know how it's going to affect me.
Yeah.
Which I would be the same way. I totally get. That's how I am with work and stuff. But there's that element too, where it's like people aren't used to this new form factor yet. Because I would go smoke a joint. Like I can smoke right now, but I still want to do a drink because I don't know how it's going to hit. So kind of in that same realm a little bit.
That's so interesting because in my mind, what it kind of means is this, is that the spouse or the friend or the whatever that's never tried cannabis, that's coming with someone else who does use cannabis regularly every so often, why haven't they really used cannabis? But they're curious. And I really think it's because people don't know, number one, they don't know how much they're actually consuming. If I take a hit of that, I have no idea how much I'm consuming. I'm getting a brownie, someone's telling me there's 5 milligrams in there, but I have no idea. I've never used cannabis. I'm looking at a brownie. I have no clue how's that verified. But now people can go like, wait a second, this is very dialed in. It's measured up. I know exactly how much I'm consuming. It seems like a small dose. There's like, it's like a psychological that, oh, this is a small amount of liquid. You know, it's not a huge bottle of water or something. So I think they're just knowing that I can get a very dialed in specific amount. And it goes back to the low consumer. I know you and I have talked about that a lot, and I'm a low consumer on my end. So that's why I think I love Create. 6 milligrams, it's perfect. So anyways, real quick before I forget, I know I'm kind of rambling here.
No, that's what it
is. I was thinking, let's say it's me and my buddy Jerry, and Jerry is that person who's curious about cannabis. Never smoked, kind of freaks them out. They don't really know, but they're curious about it. If they could go to the Artistry's website or maybe the Koan website, and there's like a QR code or a link to one of your videos that goes really in depth, breaking down each one. I think you've made a video along those lines, right? And they had like a direct link to that video. So if they're curious about it, they want to come with a friend, but they're like, oh, wait, I can go to that website and in my own personal space, free of judgment, take 10 minutes to really learn about this, because now they're coming in and going, hey, Jack, I want this and I want to get Create, because they've learned about Create in one of your videos. So you're going to have people coming in who are going to know what they want and potentially wanting to just try even more. Hey, I've looked at them all. I really want to try Love and I really want to try Calm. Just interesting to think about.
I love it. And to that point too, something else I want to do is I'm trying to figure out the best way to do it, because it's different, you know, with the different potencies and whatnot that we have. But I want to do a little koan flight, much like a whiskey flight.
That's genius.
So I want to have I want to have a little board that could be small as fuck, like a little board like this big.
Yeah.
With just little holes dug in so they can sit in. You
3 cordials.
Yeah, 3 cordials. So you can maybe start however you want to start it. Start with a play, then move to delight, then move to a calm. So yeah, man, it's fun, dude. It's kind of crazy just to see like. Now what? So if you were gonna, you said you would buy Create probably. Now what's your thoughts on? I'm just trying to think of, you know,
Calm.
it's
I think Calm is the play. And honestly, when at the bar, the way you could promote it, Jack, is say, hey, come in and get a cocktail. They get a cocktail. Here's your cordial. Here's your drink. That way, because what would you do? You do the same thing as I would do. I would first take the cordial, smell it, and take a small sip so I can taste what it tastes by itself, and then pour the rest in.
Yeah.
Because that's going to allow people to really taste the just super unique flavor. I've never tasted anything like Calm. I can say that 100%. Like that one and Calm have such great flavors that I've never tasted really anywhere else. And this is one that tastes like kind of like cantaloupe, right?
The light does.
Dude, because
the play's more like orange. The light is like my favorite cantaloupe lychee.
Yes, that's
lychee.
the one.
How do you say it? Lychee?
I say lychee, but I don't know.
Let's scrap.
Figure it outside. But no. The cantaloupe one is the best flavor one for
fun.
sure. That is fun.
I'm about to like drink it right now.
I'll split one with you.
And that's where you're making me excited. It's just people just need to hear about it and know about it, because a lot of people don't know this exists.
Dude, I guarantee.
Because people see it and be like, whoa, and like even dude, it's so funny to hear like sitting at the bar making cocktails. People are like, oh shit, like I didn't know this was here. Like, or like, oh dang, this is some futuristic stuff, man. I didn't know they were making this, because we get people from out of state coming in there too. Like, oh damn, like we don't have anything like this in Florida. Like you guys coming to Florida or New York? Like this is really dope,
dude.
Like, I'm like, hopefully soon we're expanding out, but. It's like I know I said it in a lot of content, but beverages, bro.
It's so smart, because Jack, this is what I was just thinking about. I'm thinking about someone like one of my family members, right? One of my family members has never tried cannabis ever, not once. I'm telling you, this is the type of product where that person would be more open to it. And that's what I'm actually saying is I hear like what you were saying. People are saying that, oh, well, beverages just aren't here yet. It's a market that's not here yet. I'll be honest, I actually totally disagree. It's there. It's just untapped. Like, for example, imagine you getting to Earth and be like, there's no rare metals in these grounds. There's no diamonds under this ground. It's there. Diamonds are in the ground. They just have to be found and opened up.
And
Dude,
I
think
do-
consumers are much more,
I do-
whether they know it or not, they're there.
I do 100% agree with that. It's just like the way that it's just a lot of the like people think that way. But
Yeah.
I like the way that my old Paulo, kind of a mentor of mine, would say, he's like, he's like, we're not here to compete with the pre-rolls. He's like, we're here to compete with the beverage refrigerators next door at the gas station.
Beautiful. Perfect.
And I was like, that's some real shit.
That's wisdom right there.
Yeah. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
so it's like, it's like, that's, and think about it. You go to CVS and like Walgreens and any gas station, and there's a legit whole wall of beverages. You go to most dispensaries, there's one little refrigerator.
Dude.
You know what I mean? Like, so there just needs to be, and
yes.
a big part of it, too, is there's so many layers to it,
Yeah.
But once it all starts hitting right, like, because you're so
Yeah.
right, the market's there. It's just a matter of getting the market to where it needs to be,
Educated.
and that's where I'm a huge fan of. Also, I'm a huge retail guy. I love the dispensaries, being on the ground, talking to everybody. But that's
Yeah.
where too, a lot of this, like you're saying, is a link to a video, the education aspect online.
Yeah.
Because a lot of these people, even being a stoner coming out to California, smoking every day since I was 16, I was still almost a little hesitant going into a dispensary. I was smoking weed for fucking a long time.
Yeah.
Like, I was super excited. Don't get me wrong. I
Yeah.
wasn't like scared, but
Yeah.
I was still like, even went in there, I'm like, oh, it feels low key, it feels weird.
Right.
But like, I could only imagine somebody let's put somebody who's been against weed their most of their life.
That's what I'm
And now they
telling
see it
you,
becoming
dude.
more accepted. They see people opening up to it, and they're going to be like, okay. But to your point too, that made me happy when you said the calm. That's the beauty of like also brand buy-in, I see, with gummy brands and whatnot. Because
Dude,
somebody tries
yes.
calm, and like, I really like calm. I always do. But hey, maybe I'm ready for something to level up now a little bit. Then they move to balance, which is like 2.53 milligrams THC.
Dude.
You know what I mean? Like, so this, and then they could go to create. Like,
The market is so big for this. It's really, and sorry to cut you off, but it's interesting. I see this, and one thing does come to my mind: because I'm thinking breaking down for a new consumer. Because at the end of the day, you look at all.
simplicity. You've done PADs before
I have done, yeah. Well, it's interesting because I'm just thinking, if we were to look at all potential consumers in America right now, let's be honest, the majority of them don't use cannabis every week, right? The majority of people in America, let's be honest, out of all adults, the majority of adults don't use cannabis. Let's keep it real. So it's like, how do you convert them? And I think it's really, at the end of the day, drugs are scary. Drugs are scary for a lot of people. I mean, I'm afraid of drugs, not marijuana or alcohol, but I'm afraid of most drugs. And a lot of people have that fear of drugs. And it's just a marketing budget for education. You get the marketing budget for education, you can bring those consumers.
So I was flipping the camera back on. No, I totally agree, and that's like the hard part though, right? Is you have to get them there to have the education in the first place.
Yeah.
So it's like what's really going to change the game is just more access. A lot of these people, dude, even in California, dude, there's so many counties that don't allow for dispensaries.
Isn't that crazy? I didn't actually realize that until recent. To be honest
it's
with
nuts. Like, even like,
yeah.
or in even some cities have weird rules around certain things. It's like, but like, that's where it's so crazy. That's where the shit's just gonna skyrocket. It's just gonna be like a steady rise, and then once it's more accessible, bam.
Oh,
Because it's just gonna be the everything's gonna open up, dude. Like, it's just gonna be crazy.
you are right. I mean, the federal aspect of once all that shit's
Well,
behind us,
even
they're about to get a massage. They're about to hit the gym. They're about to hit the steam room. They're about to hit the sauna, whatever. Like a, very relaxing experience. I'm going to get a facial, nails done, whatever. If a person walks in, can they buy a calm cocktail right now? Or just
No.
a calm,
Oh, well,
cordial
it would have to
shot?
be. There's so many legalities. It has to be kind of a private thing, probably. But what you're sounding is giving me an idea, and I know there's a hotel in Santa Monica that I'm gonna hit up about this. But what you're saying is perfect. I've had the same way of thinking, but I think it's lining it up beforehand.
Right.
Or so like maybe we partner with a couple different saunas, massage parlors or whatever. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, hey, on the bottom of your receipt, if you like cannabis or whatever, on the back there's a Koan deal, or like a free one or something, like, so they can bring it with them.
Yeah.
Or like it would be something like that, maybe, because I don't know about
Absolutely.
selling on site, the legalities
I see
behind
what you're
that.
saying, dude. Even a coupon code. Like a referral
You know
code
who
or something.
and shout out Ty at Atrium too, is like he utilizes the back of the Ralph's receipts. They put coupons on there in the past, and he says they actually work really well. I've seen a bunch of people come in with them.
Dude, I
So it's like there's kind of some marketing like that
That's
that are
an
slept
original
on.
market.
Yeah,
It's
so-
slept on, man. Sleeping giant.
Yeah,
man.
for
Seriously.
real.
I mean, it's interesting because I'll be honest. I even think about, like for example, if let's say, you're rocking Koan, you're doing sales for Koan. If someone's doing sales for Koan, I was thinking it's like, if you're allowed to, I guess legality wise, oh great, I see there's an art festival going on. Great, I'm gonna go promote something to those people on Instagram, find what they're following, and then just, using the magic of Instagram and Facebook ads, do like an actual targeted thing saying, hey, you're in the art space, check out this cannabis based thing that's geared towards being creative in art. You could show up to live events, you could join Facebook groups, promote specific ones to that. You could choose whichever one is maybe best for a workout. Find a workout event, or maybe there's a calisthenics club or a local gym. Be like, hey, would you mind if we came in one day, did a PAD to people walking by, and we'll pay this gym $200 for us being here for an hour. I get to set up a booth. I'll give your gym $200. Great. And then you could just promote specific ones for like pre-workouts or something like that, and just rock kind of some more of that organic boots on the ground.
No, 100%. And that's exactly like what I do in a way when I go to places, because I always carry, especially now that we have the singles, I'll carry them with me. And I've given them like people I've met around here, and like when I'm at places, like that's the kind of loop. That's kind of the get around, right? If I'm at somewhere and you can gift it.
Oh,
So potentially I could
understand.
gift a yoga studio 24 calm singles or something, and they
Okay.
could hand them out for free.
Hey,
Right? That
yeah.
could technically be legal.
Okay.
So it's stuff like that, I think, and then just getting it in people's hands, right?
Well, yeah, I think at the end of the day, I mean, like most things, it comes down to, access, obviously, and education. And then, of course, desire, right? That's the third missing component, right, of every sale. But you think about it, to me, the terpene game is what really separates this product.
This is True Buzz, that Mary J. Now we ain't new to this. For my stoners and for my cannabis enthusiasts, never heard a show as good as this. Number one, it's the best. Bringing in many special guests in the industry of cannabis. Business owners to growers, even artists you know of. So sit back and just roll up. Perfect show for my smokers. True Buzz, hey.